Hello everybody, it's Flesson19 and welcome to the beta branch update for December 8th. Now I put out a video on Monday because I had so much information and therefore I'm not going to have as much information in this video. I figured that I wanted to split them up because I was worried about this one running way too long. However, we did not actually get a lot of information from Monday. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover a few things that I think are important enough to go ahead and highlight in this video. But to this point, we still don't have a concrete update on what's going on with 1.5.7. However, I do have my theory as to what is going to happen, and I think it will be out next week. Exactly what part of next week, that's the hard thing to tell because you never know how the final testing goes until they actually get it going and test it out and see how many bugs that they might have. It's really hard to determine, but I feel pretty confident they're coming out with 1.5.7 next week. The death bug is still happening at this point. Pretty shocked that it's taken them this long to even get that fixed. It's a pretty big deal and an unfair advantage for the AI, and they just still don't have a fix for it. And it's probably been about 5 or 6 weeks, and we at this point do not have a concrete answer from them as to when that's going to be fixed, whether or not 1.5.7 is going to contain that fix. They still have that really bad memory leak that they have from 1.5.6, in which they said that they had fixed a memory leak, but they had actually caused a memory leak. And it is pretty significant depending on whose system you're actually running. If you're on a system that is not really good, then you can experience some significant problems, especially while fighting major battles. With loading times, with map stuttering, it's pretty significant. Where if the better system you have, the less you're going to actually experience that. I personally can go for maybe about an hour, hour and a half in the game before I need to exit out of it and reboot it back up. So for me, I don't have the greatest system, but hour, hour and a half at most. That's probably about it, and I have to go ahead and do it myself. So we still don't have a word on that yet. I'm hoping that is going to be fixed in 1.5.7. The Roguery skill still does not work for attacking the caravans, so that's something also that I was hoping that they could have possibly gotten hotfixed, but I feel that's going to be something that they might have to wait till 1.5.7. 1.5.6 came out on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, they put out a hotfix. On New Year's Eve, they put out a hotfix, but for 1.5.5. So, since this has been out now for 2 weeks, we've had one hotfix. And it was a so-so one. It did contain a few things. However, we didn't have anything major. So it's a little disconcerting to know that this has been out for 2 weeks, hasn't been hotfixed, and there are some major issues that are going on with this. That's concerning to me. So I think they might be waiting until 1.5.7 comes out to actually hotfix it. And how that is concerning to me is because at that point, you're going to be throwing 1.5.6 to the live branch. And to think that you have issues such as the memory leak, and then you have the death still going on, and you're going to throw that live without fixing it, that really bugs me. Because you should have most everything pretty much squared away for when you're throwing it on the live branch. This is a post by Mexico, and specifically, there's a couple things to it, but I want to show you this right here. Also check why expensive equipment is not created at towns and fix that too. As you see in the screenshot, you will find 100k items rarely in markets in 1.5.7. And as you can see here, there's 115,000 armor piece. So Mexico stated that he has fixed the problem, so I came back in a post. And I asked him, does that include noble bows and heavy executioner's axes? His response was, yes, for all items. So according to Mexico, all items will now be able to spawn in 1.5.7, but they're going to be rare. However, any item now, including noble bows and heavy executioner's axes. I wanted to show you this video specifically because I wanted to mention this to people. This is a very quick 36-second video I posted for Mexico. The reason why I want to show this is for one simple thing right here. This is Mexico's real name. I've mentioned this before. Mexico checks my YouTube page from time to time. And specifically, when he asks me to do something or to post something for him, he's going to look at it. Therefore, it is really important that when you see something like that on the forums, we're not talking about my trader tests. We're talking about the fact that when you see something posted from Mexico that's a minute or 2 minutes long, he's probably going to look at it. And therefore, if you have an opinion on it, you might want to voice your opinion. Because he did not leave this in the general forum. He didn't just type in a comment. This was in response to somebody else's comment that I had replied to. So he went inside that comment to read it, which means he's reading the comment. So if you see something on there that is meant for Mexico, try to make sure that if you have a strong opinion, you're leaving that opinion. There is not much else there really needs to discuss when it comes to 1.5.6. The lack of hotfixes or communications on the forums, and being so close to 1.5.7 as they said that they figured it would be in the mid-January range, has made it so there has not been much movement to actually do stuff to fix 1.5.6. So therefore, we're left with the fact that we're just waiting for 1.5.7, and as I said earlier, I feel like it's going to be coming out next week. What time next week, I don't know. If you wanted me to give a roundabout guess, I would say Wednesday is what I'm thinking. There is a lot that we don't know. We don't know whether or not Charm and Engineering are going to be redone, Roguery fixed, the map stuttering issue done, the memory leak fixed, death working as intended. We don't have a lot of these answers because since 1.5.5, the communication from Tail World has dropped off some. I got a lot of that information out of the way on Monday. So if you did not see that video, I will link that video. So you might want to check that out, and because that contains quite a bit of information. So hopefully I will talk to you guys next week in 1.5.7. Until then, take care, and thanks for watching.